Sexualization of children in the media is one of the most controversial and talked about topics facing society today. But is the media really to blame? There is no doubt that mainstream media has greatly affected the way that children are perceived in modern day discussions, both economically and socially, but when it comes to their sexualization, the changes have been largely detrimental. Looking into the history books, it's pretty easy to see that society has changed their opinions towards youth to a massive degree. In the early 1900s, the idea of childhood and innocence didn't really exist, with many children starting full-time work early, some as young as 4 years old. Mainstream media was an integral part in the creation of a teenage market, and it seems in recent times a tween market has become one of the most powerful demographics that exist today. Ultimately, the issues that exist with sexualizing children occur mainly in advertising and marketing to these groups. The way products are marketed to pre-teens has a massive effect on the way these groups are represented and perceived. Take for example the debate over the over-sexualization of Bratz dolls. When the dolls were first introduced to the marketplace in 2001, there was uproar from conservatives and lobbyists worldwide. Tom Narducci, a senior consultant of the NSPCC, criticised the way the dolls were dressed in marketing campaigns, saying the use of fishnet stockings and short skirts was sexualising girls as young as 5, a sentiment that was echoed by many others. Some argued, though, that this kind of behaviour, the effect that this kind of behaviour has on our children is yet to be seen. Following a report from the American Psychological Association criticising the dolls, Dr. Brian Young of Exeter University said, "The only people who have sexual images of them are adults, who have their own thoughts on these things." It does make you wonder, however, if the added attention from parents and the media made the key demographic of 11 to 18-year-olds more aware of the over-sexualisation of the dolls. Perhaps seeing the attention the dolls received for dressing the way that they did might be enough incentive for young girls to emulate the fashion trend. But don't just take my word for it. According to the Women's Forum of Australia, the unrealistic interpretations of beauty and premature sexualization can be linked with serious mental health issues, such as eating disorders, low self-esteem, and depression. Many girls dress to get attention, regardless of whether it is positive or negative. Furthermore, a major concern over the creation of a teenage market in the media was the ability for these groups to now be viewed as sexual beings, a notion previously unheard of. This ultimately led to a fear from conservatives that this would create more pedophiles and sex offenders. According to Fred Berlin, however, founder of the Johns Hopkins Sexual Disorders Clinic and a professor of psychiatry at the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, research suggests that some genetic and hormonal abnormalities may play a role in pedophilia. We now recognise that it's not just a moral issue and that no one chooses to be sexually attracted to young people. In recent times, however, particularly in fashion, marketing campaigns have attempted to re-bridge the gap between adulthood and childhood. Using child models and adult poses doesn't necessarily create pedophiles, but deliberately using a child and making them out to look like an adult is without doubt deceitful marketing. Recently, French press were outraged over a series of photos featuring child model Thylane Loubry-Blondel, using the 10-year-old in an implied nude photo in which an artfully placed necklace and Thylane's hair concealed her chest was deemed completely inappropriate by French journalists. Media critics worry that fashion campaigns such as this blur the lines between art and marketing and child pornography. Clearly, sexualizing children for the purposes of fashion and marketing is just another reason why mass media is proving to be a negative influence on society. One of the biggest influences on children, however, in terms of fashion, language, or social activities, are celebrities and the media coverage they receive. Such is the nature of the media, however, stars rarely make headlines for being well behaved. The Paris Hiltons, the Lindsay Lohans, and the Kate Mosses are style icons and plastered across every magazine worldwide. It's easy for children to see these role models and attempt to emulate their actions. By following in the footsteps of high-profile and media-covered role models, such as Kim Kardashian, it's easy to be led astray. Ms. Kardashian infamously released her sex tape only weeks before the premiere of her new show on E, which according to the E website is now the most watched program for men and women aged between 16 and 34. It would be easy to see that topics and issues such as this could be considered normal by teens and preteens who watch the easily accessible program. In studies from the National Campaign, which aims to prevent teen pregnancy, 22% of teen girls and 18% of teen boys have sent a nude photograph of themselves to a partner, and even more shockingly, 11% of young teen girls aged between 11 and 16 have sent a nude photograph. With an increase in the accessibility of the media through online news sources, social media and television, this kind of behaviour is being broadcast to a young audience daily. While the initial influence of the media allowed for the idea of youth and innocence to be created, There is no doubt the over-sensationalised and over-sexualised approach is negatively influencing society.